Welcome in. Today we're going deep, diving into New Clothes. It's a parable by Pedro Elias, all about finding peace. What about this story? What intrigued you about it? What made you want to explore it more?
I think it's relatable, right? A lot of people resonate with this idea of searching for peace in a world that a lot of times just feels chaotic. And Elias, he offers kind of a different perspective on that search.
Okay, so let's unpack this parable, for our listeners, for everybody listening.
Yeah, so it centers on this man, right? And he's plagued by this foul smell, just no matter where he goes. And, he blames his work, his family, even like society as a whole.
Oh, man. That sounds incredibly frustrating.
It is. He like desperately tries to escape the smell. He changes jobs, he even changes families. And eventually he just isolates himself on a mountaintop, hoping for some relief.
You would think that would do the trick, right?
Yeah.
Like finding a peaceful environment,
Yeah.
getting away from it all.
You would think. You would think. But that's where this parable, it takes kind of an interesting turn.
Because the smell follows him, even to the top of a mountain.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only when he has this moment, this like complete breakdown, utterly defeated, that he makes this kind of shocking realization. The source of this horrible smell is his own clothes.
Okay. Before we get into, like the symbolism of smelly clothes, I have to ask, like, what kind of laundry detergent was this guy using?
That's a great question.
Right.
Though I think the bigger question here is, what do those clothes really represent? In a broader sense?
Yeah, I think I'm starting to get it. It's not like literally about laundry, right?
Exactly. No, the clothes are more of a metaphor.
So like all the baggage
Yeah.
that we kind of carry around, like our perceptions, beliefs, past experiences, all that.
Yes, all of that. The things that shape how we view the world, even if, we're not even thinking about them.
Right. And it's like they're filtering everything, even when we're trying to, like, get a fresh start.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, the parable really highlights how our, like, internal state can have a huge impact on our external reality.
So it's not about finding, like, this perfect smell-free world.
Right.
It's about changing how we see the one we're in.
Precisely. It is. He doesn't actually change his circumstances. He changes his relationship to them. He has this moment, this self-realization, and then his clothes, they transform. He's not blaming those external factors anymore.
Well, that shift in perspective, that internal transformation,
Yeah.
it's a really powerful idea.
Yeah, it really is. Think about what that means for us. I mean, how often do we blame things outside of ourselves when the real issue, it might be our own, our own internal state.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It makes me think about those days when you just wake up in a bad mood, and then suddenly everything is annoying. The traffic, the weather, even your coworkers. It's like you're projecting that bad mood onto everything, everyone around you.
It's like you're wearing
Yeah.
these glasses that are just distorting everything.
Yeah.
And you're seeing the world through this lens of your own, baggage.
Oh, that reminds me. In the parable, doesn't he like eventually go back home? Curious how that goes, because even with this like newfound peace, dealing with, other people's drama, it's never easy.
You're right. He does go back home. And it's a crucial part
Yeah.
of the story because it shows how this inner peace, how it can like totally transform how we interact with others. Remember how his wife, she complains about a bad smell when he comes back?
I was like, oh no, here we go again.
Right. But this time it's different because he gets it. He recognizes that she's talking about her own clothes, her own baggage.
So instead of getting defensive or blaming her, he can actually see it from her perspective.
Exactly. He responds with compassion. Instead of getting pulled into an argument, his inner peace, it allows him to see things more clearly and react with more understanding.
Wow. That's such a powerful example of how inner peace can lead to more peaceful relationships.
It's not a magic solution or anything,
Right.
but it can help us navigate those challenging situations with a lot more grace and understanding. We're less likely to like take things so personally
Right.
or get caught up in other people's, emotional stuff.
Yeah, it makes you think, right? Like how often, maybe I'm blaming like all these outside things for my stress. What about you? Have you noticed like any recurring smells in your own life? Maybe like a particular person or situation that just always seems to trigger you.
It's so true. That's such an important question, for all of us to think about. It's easy to get caught up in blaming those external circumstances. But I mean, this parable, it's reminding us it's crucial to look inward, like
Yeah.
first.
Could it be that we're letting our own like clothes make those experiences even worse.
Absolutely. And that's where the real work begins, right?
Yeah.
Developing that self-awareness, that willingness to examine our own clothes. It's a journey. It's not just this like one-time fix.
Totally. It's like you can't just do laundry once and expect to like smell fresh forever.
Exactly.
Life just keeps like throwing new stuff at you.
Right. Yeah.
And all those experiences, they impact us.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. It requires this constant self-reflection and adjustment. We have to be willing to look at our baggage, our own biases, preconceived notions, and just see how those things, how they might be coloring our experiences.
At the end of this parable, he doesn't actually stay on that mountaintop, right?
Right.
Like he's found this internal peace, but he doesn't just stay isolated. He chooses to go back, re-engage with the world, with all of its like potential smells.
That's such a good point. True peace. It doesn't mean that you have to like withdraw from everything or pretend that, difficulties don't exist.
So it's not about like finding this utopia.
Not at all. It's about finding that stillness within, even when there's chaos all around you. And it's about carrying that awareness, that peace with you as you navigate life and relationships.
This parable it's so powerful. It's not about finding this perfect smell-free existence. It's about, kind of changing our relationship with the world and becoming more aware of the smells, I guess, that we carry within ourselves and how those smells influence everything. Well, that's something for all of us to think about, right? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive